Hello and welcome to the 2023 NCAA Division II Men's Soccer Selection Show. I'm your host, Will Haskett. The trip out west last year for top seed Franklin Pierce was worth it, capturing the national title and keeping a streak of dominant champions alive in this sport. We have some big name programs to unveil today, but the depth of D2 soccer has been on display through much of conference championship season, so every matchup unveiled today has the potential to go either direction. Our bracket is comprised of 40 schools split into 4 super regions. Opening matchups begin later this week, and we'll begin to whittle it down until only 4 teams remain. Those 4 head to Matthews, North Carolina for the national semifinals on December 7th and the national championship game 2 days later. Who gets there has a lot to do with the matchups we unveil right now. So let's hop right into the bracket and start with Super Region number 1. Top seed belongs to, no surprise, there they are again, Franklin Pierce, the reigning champions, waiting 15 years to capture title number 2 last season and showed no signs of waiting another 15 years to win it all again. Top scoring offense and defense in the NE10 this year, also boasted top 10 numbers in both of those categories. Eunice Canusi was the offensive leader this year, 18 goals this season, which is also top 3 in the nation. They host a first-round showdown that includes Bloomsburg. Welcome back to the Huskies. It's been since 2014, but Bloomsburg is dancing for just the 3rd time in program history. This is a roster stacked with talent. It features 6 different all-conference performers. The Huskies lost just once in their last 12 times out. Breathe easy, Southern New Hampshire. You are in. The 2-time national champions return for the first time since 2016, fresh off pushing Franklin Pierce to PKs in the NE10 championship, so a potential second-round matchup there, which would be an interesting rematch. Speaking of a second-round matchup, it'll be played at Post. The top defense in the CACC surrendered less than 0.7 goals per game, with Soren Jensen's 80% save percentage in goal also topping the conference. That defense gets tested by Westchester. Daniel Good's 9 shutouts led the PSAC this season, which means this is a matchup where 1 goal might be enough to get it done in the end. Charleston is the 2 seed in this region. The 2017 and 2019 national champs have a habit of making deep runs. In their previous 12 trips, they've made the final 4 teams in more than half of those appearances. This season's run could be fueled by a number of things for the most balanced team in the country. A plus 66 goal differential is best in the nation, where this team paces the country with 73 scores, nearly 4 of them coming per game. They welcome Notre Dame of Ohio to town. The Falcons return to the tournament for back-to-back trips after earning a bid to the 2022 NCAA tournament. Notre Dame has put together another strong campaign, posting the fewest losses in a regular season since 2013. Falcons also went 8-2-4 in Mountain East Conference play and finished second in the standings. An overtime loss in the conference semifinals has this team hungry to prove themselves in this bracket. Queens is still celebrating, won their first East Coast Conference championship in program history behind Tommy Gunn's game winner in the 79th minute to earn the automatic bid. The Knights heading to the NCAA tournament for the 2nd straight season after earning an at-large bid in 2022. During the regular season, head coach Frank Vertullo became the all-time coaching wins leader and the first coach to hit 50 wins in program history. All right, a bye belonging to Millersville, which has reached the NCAA tournament 7 times under coach Steve Widdowson, who started in 2007. He won his 5th PSAC Coach of the Year award this season, while Bob Hennessy was named the PSAC East Athlete of the Year. Aaron Maynard was named the conference's East Defensive Athlete of the Year. And Gannon rounds out our region. They finished the regular season unbeaten for a 2nd time in the PSAC West regular season. Billy Colton was the West Coach of the Year, while Tanashi Kitsandi was named the West Men's Soccer Athlete of the Year with 17 goals, 10 assists, totaling 44 points. He leads the PSAC and is tied for 2nd in Division II in goals. Defensively, the Golden Knights hold opponents to just over 11 shots per game this season. All right, on to our next super region. It's number 3, where the top seed belongs to Tiffin. The Dragons returning for a 7th time and seek the program's first NCAA tournament win. They are gathered in the Marion Center tonight to watch the show and celebrate another great season. The win over Lake Erie in the tourney title game marks the 2nd GMAC tournament title in the last 4 years, while the team has also won back-to-back regular season titles as well this season. They'll welcome Maryville to town. This program hasn't missed the field since its first appearance back in 2017 and returns this season with Tim Smith leading the team and the GLVC in points. A nervous wait ends for Wisconsin Parkside, snagging an at-large berth in this region, earning the program's 7th tournament berth. No nerves for McKendree, another defensively minded team from the GLVC. Only Illinois Springfield posted a stronger shutout in goals against numbers this season as the defense carries this program back to the NCAA tournament for just the second time in school history. And Southern Nazarene will try to break through the defense in the opener for both of these schools. This was the top scoring team in the SAC this season, so that provides a very good defense versus offensive test in this showdown. All right, back to defense. We mentioned the strength of Illinois Springfield. Make it 3 straight appearances for this program, which not only led the GLVC in shutouts and goals against, they led the country. Less than a third of a goal allowed per game for a defense anchored by Andreas Scapolo in goal. He's been the keeper for 14 different shutouts this season. Lewis confirming its spot in the region, an 11th NCAA tournament berth for the Flyers. Tight battle with UIndy in the GLVC semifinals ended in a PK loss, but this team knows it can make a deep run. Joram Bogers led the team in goals this season. He earned Offensive Player of the Year honors in the conference, one of 5 different Flyers to earn all-league honors this season. The Flyers get first-timers Purdue Northwest to start. Congratulations to the Pride for making the NCAA tournament for the first time in program history. They avenged a loss to Davenport to close out the regular season by besting them in the semifinals of the GLIAC Championship. It was the first trip to the GLIAC title game, and the Pride made the most of it, getting a Jacob Batista goal in the 30th minute to net the game's only score. UIndy is back again. The Greyhounds made their first tournament appearance a decade ago and now return for a 7th time, where they have made the national semifinals twice before. This year, UIndy captured the GLVC title, a 4th in program history. It took PKs against Illinois Springfield. Kieran Brown stopped one and watched 2 others miss to earn the victory and the title for UIndy. Lake Erie is the last team to unveil in this region. The regional champs a year ago lost to eventual national champion Franklin Pierce in the semifinals. Can they make another run through this region and a berth in the Final Four? All right, 2 regions down, 2 to go. And with Super Region 2, we reveal the top seed there. It belongs to Limestone. The Saints return to the field after missing out a season ago and do so in emphatic fashion, pacing the SAC in both total offense and defense. It led to their first ever league title in the year, where the roster had 8 All-SAC award recipients. Freshman Henrik Dahl was second team as a keeper, but he also led the conference in shutouts, save percentage, and goals against. They host a first-round matchup that starts with Clayton State. Congrats to the Peach Belt champs, who return to the tournament for the first time since 2010 to face Lenoir-Rhyne, which grabs a spot. The Bears had to be chewing their nails today, waiting to see if their regional ranking would hold up. It does, for an at-large selection and a spot in the tournament for the 3rd straight season. It's the longest such streak in program history. Harry Rowe topped the conference in assists, many of them coming to Adrian Martina, who paced the team in goals scored this season. Barry will play host to a second-round game. The Bucks, champs of the Sunshine State, thanks to an early goal from Nicholas Villalobos in the 10th minute. It was all that keeper Rafael Furlani would need. He validated his Goalkeeper of the Year award to post the shutout and clinch the AQ for Barry, seeking its 2nd national title after winning it all 5 years ago. Lincoln Memorial makes just its 3rd ever tournament, but the previous trips have been fruitful, with 2 trips to the national semifinals, including a national runner-up run back in 2007. Florida Tech awarded the 2 seed. It's been over a generation since the program's 2 national titles, so it's time perhaps to add another trophy to the case. The best record in the Sunshine State Conference featured Fabio Amaral offensively. Tied for the team lead in goals, he led the conference in shots as well this season, so you know he will have his opportunities coming up this postseason to try and score some more. Lynn is next up to keep the conference flair alive. They were the top defense in the Sunshine State Conference, surrendering just .64 goals per game, and returned to the tournament for the first time since 2019 for the 3-time national champs. And Shawan will be the opponent, the Conference Carolina champions, yet again here in 2023. Wingate is your 3 seed. The 2016 national champs return for a 2nd straight season. Pablo Pozos leads the team in both goals and assists this season. He paces an offense which has posted a +14 goal differential this year. And that goal differential will be tested early by West Florida. The Argonauts led the Gulf South in shutouts this year. Nicholas Meckian in goal. That defense very stout against a strong offensive Wingate team. All right, just one more region to go, Super Region 4. Top seed here is Midwestern State. Make it 4 straight tournament trips for the unbeaten champs of the Lone Star Conference. Mer Escobar led the conference with 17 goals this season, ranking him top 5 nationally. He is one of 9 players in the country averaging over 2 points per game. Defensively, this team only surrendered about a half goal per game, topping the conference, also top 10 in the nation. Adam Brayman in goal posted 9 shutouts this season while scoring an 80% save percentage. Fort Lewis will come to town, the first RMAC regular season championship since 2011, when the program also went on to win the national championship. It is the program's 4th 11-win season since 2011, with head coach David Oberholzer named the RMAC Coach of the Year. That was his first. He actually played on the national runner-up team in 2006, and then was an assistant coach for both teams that won it all in 2009 and 2011. In the drama right now for UC Colorado Springs. Congrats to the Mountain Lions for earning an at-large selection and into the tournament. CSU Pueblo is ready to make another run. One more win. That's all they need. That's been the thought for the Thunderwolves after coming up just shy in the championship game a year ago. This year's squad enters the tournament bolstered by being RMAC tournament champs for the first time, besting Fort Lewis 2-0 in the title showdown. Gabriel Campora was brilliant as always, earning tournament MVP after scoring both goals. He has 17 on the season, ranking 4th in the country. Chico State will pay a visit, and a strong CCAA 4 Wildcats earned all conference honors, including the goalkeeper of the year, Emmanuel Padilla. Senior midfielder Adrian Fontanelli earned second team honors after leading the conference in assists on the season. Cal State LA is next. Love the headline on the Golden Eagles site here this week. They didn't just win the CCAA title this year, they retained it. Love that line. It took PKs to capture the conference tournament for a 3rd straight year. The first of those 3 straight ended up being the catalyst to a national title run in 2021, so maybe good things to come again this year. Brian Ortega netted the first PK and would go on to be named the tournament's most outstanding player just this past week. It was the first penalty shootout for the Golden Eagles since the national semifinals and the championship run 2 years ago. A couple of champs will do battle alongside in LA with Simon Frazier, the 7 seed. The GNAC champs earned the AQ to return to the field for the first time since 2018. The Red Leafs exploded for 4 first-half goals in the championship clincher. Michael Hennessy got the first just 3 minutes in and added his second only 11 minutes later. That would end up being the game winner when the dust settled on a convincing 5-1 win. Point Loma clinched its first ever Pac West championship, earning the conference's automatic bid into the regional, and is making its 2nd ever NCAA West regional appearance. It's their first since 2017. This was the top scoring team in the conference, also leading the Pac West in shutouts this year. Lead them in scoring, lead them in defensive scoring. Good things are going to happen for Point Loma. Final 2 teams will head to Cal Poly Pomona. Everything but the PK victory for the Broncos, which came up short in the CCAA title showdown, but hope to trade that loss for a bigger win in their 9th tournament trip. The 2015 national runner-ups led the conference in offense this year and sported the best goal differential of any team in that conference. And Cal State Monterey Bay rounds out the field. Congrats to the Otters, who make the tournament for a first time. The most active offense in the CCAA led the conference in assists this season. All right, there you have it. All 40 teams still alive in pursuit of a national championship. Those 8 first-round games kick off either Thursday or Friday of this week, with each region down to 4 teams by the end of the weekend. Following super regional play, which will take place after the holiday, the final 4 teams head to the Sportsplex at Matthews in Matthews, North Carolina, for the national semifinals and championship. You can catch those games on December 7th and 9th right here on NCAA.com. We hope you enjoy all of the action this postseason, and be sure to track the results right here as well. Thank you so much for joining us today. I'm Will Haskett. Congratulations and best of luck to all the student athletes competing in this year's championship.
If you're not here for Fandom 101, you're in the wrong class. Here, we learn the fundamentals of fanology, the basics of bringing the noise, and the physics of bringing it out. Your path to fan mastery begins here. It's all part of the curriculum. The NCAA Championships. Attendance is encouraged. Passion is mandatory. Buy your seats today at ncaa.com/tickets. Class dismissed.